and fascinating approach to history, a grand and exhilarating voyage, history at its best. These are all phrases that have been used to describe Daniel Borstein's book, The Discoverers. These are all phenomenal reviews. So, what have I thought as I've been reading it this past semester? These past 33 chapters, I have seen some strengths and some weaknesses that definitely contradict those, or counteract those. So I'll start with a big strength for me. I really liked how Borstein included excerpts from other historical writings to add in to what he is previously saying, to support it, to provide more evidence and a first-hand account. For example, whenever discussing the pilgrimages from Europe to Jerusalem, he actually included a quote from the Pope at the time as he was speaking at the Council of Clermont. This quote helps us to understand the origins and motivations behind why people were going on this pilgrimage, like why they'd want to and where did it even come from. It provided a deeper level of understanding and a better way to connect with the text. Now, this one, it gave a lot of context behind what the quote was, who was saying it, why they were saying it. But this was not true for all of the quotes. In fact, as I was trying to find a quote to use in this speech, I had to skip by so many because I did not know who said it, I did not know what else they said, and I did not know how to go find any more information on it. In fact, even in the reference notes in the back of the book, it doesn't even provide a page number for me to look back on. It doesn't even tell me which chapter each reference is from. Wow. And as the reader, we're just having to take for granted what Borstein is telling us and trust him that it is truth. He could have changed the facts or the quote to fit into the narrative that he is trying to tell us, and we would have no idea. In a history book, there needs to be checks and balances so that we know we are learning the actual truth, actual history. A second strength that I also found, or I also really liked about Borstein's book, is the way that he organized the actual history by major concepts instead of timelines. He would go from full concept to full concept, which each one relying on the next one, and it really made sense to me the way that he has been moving from one major concept to the next. It helps you get a full idea of what you're learning instead of learning by the timeline, which is the typical way where you go from learning about one concept here and then we're skipping to another one and then now we're referencing back 200 pages ago and we barely even remember what they were talking about. But the problem with this is that it necessitates having a timeline. If you don't have a timeline to see what dates and where it's matching up, Borstein may frame dates as seeing an event seeming like they are super far away from each other on different parts of the timeline, when really they're happening simultaneously, and you would have no idea if you didn't have a timeline. That is something that is crucial to this book, is you have to be attentively reading and be super detail-oriented, and if that's something that maybe you're not so good at yet, it may be a good way to practice, but it also will make it a really difficult book to read. In the end, when faced with the question, what did I think about the book? I honestly have not enjoyed it. The content within chapters was super confusing with the way that Borstein goes on relevant but very possibly unrelated tangents, and as well, and also hides many things that seem to be his opinion as facts. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate between the two, and I think that was very difficult for me as I was reading. Now, if I'm being honest, reading The Discoverers honestly felt like my good old Uncle Borstein cornered me at Thanksgiving and started mansplaining all of his opinions on history to me. Thank you.